What's up, everybody? How you guys doing tonight? Today is Wednesday, and we are on time with another show. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up. If you're watching this on Facebook, please share it. If you can, if you would like, start a watch party, but at least share it. Please hit that thumbs up there too. If you're on Twitter, hit the heart, retweet it. We got a nice show. Thank you again for tuning in. Let's go ahead and get ready to jump into the show. Welcome back. This is the See Through It Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Sells. How are you guys doing tonight? We have a good show planned. A good topic, as you see there. Episode 26. We're moving right along. Episode 26. Breonna Taylor, the other sad story. We're not going to get into all the facts or misinformation or information or anything like that. What I want to talk about is the sad story that we're not focusing on. The other story, the true story. I know the news painted this picture of a young woman who, was going down the right path and was caught up in the wrong house at the wrong time or whatever the case may be. But I'm going to just throw this out there. The information that I looked into, if you would like to check it out, go to theofficertatum.com. Go there. He has a whole bunch of notes, transcripts from phone calls to photos of them watching her apartment, watching different houses, and all this other stuff. Again, like I said, I'm not here to debate or, say the killing was justified or any of that. Not here for that. That's further from my agenda. Let's be honest, we all have agendas. Today, my agenda is to put the flashlight on the fact that no one is looking at the community and blaming the community for her demise. In that report, and I can't verify if it's real or not, but when I heard the grand jury come back with only one charge of what was the charge? The charge was I forgot what the charge was, but it wasn't a heavy charge. It was it misconduct or recklessness or something like that? That told me that there was something that we didn't know. The media was lying. Something was being covered up. The media was playing us. They was playing with our emotions to get you to respond and ignore some facts or ignore the real situation. So let's talk about the situation. Breonna Taylor, young lady, had a boyfriend, and from the transcripts, seemed like she had two boyfriends. One boyfriend that was, a guy that was always, doing drugs, selling drugs. And she was with someone else who was doing the same thing. They have photos of them, taking pictures with weapons and narcotics and all of this. They also have video of her and him, leaving trap houses and doing other things and all of that. And we ignore the fact that lifestyle sent her down a dangerous path. That lifestyle sent her down to, meet her final end. Again, we're not here to debate whether the killing was justified or whether she didn't deserve to be shot or anything like that. When I'm looking at all the information and I'm looking at how our communities are looking and what plays the communities, this is the perfect story right here. the perfect sad story, the reality of what the communities look like, the reality of what is going on, what is taking place inside the communities. No one is holding them or her boyfriend accountable for what happened. No one. Everyone is playing the victim card. The cops just bust up in the house and started shooting. We've all seen 48. We all seen cops and all that. We know there's a process. We know they do lookouts, stakeouts, and all of that. But somehow we ignore the fact that there were drugs involved. They were moving drugs inside the communities. There was possibly some violent interactions within the communities. And I'm sure no one reported none of it. I can't say I'm sure. I'm assuming that no one reported any of it. As the story goes on, that night that they came into her house, into her place where she was, relaxing, her boyfriend shot back at the cops, and she ended up being shot. And from the news told us that she was laying in her bed, she was shot up, and that was that. When I looked at the boyfriend, he had no gunshot wounds or none of that. None of that. He ran off into the hallway. He was in the hallway with her. He ducked off, and she took all the bullets. He's in jail talking about what happened and all this. And we're left with why? Why is this the outcome? Why? What led up to all of this? What led up to all of this was the bad decisions, the bad choices that people constantly make inside the communities. And as soon as the outcome that we don't like, as soon as the outcome that's not in our favor happens, where your house is being kicked in and the cops are there to raid and take everything from you, as soon as we don't like the outcome, we're up in arms and the cops are racist and this is crazy and blah blah this, blah blah that. But we fail to look in the mirrors and say, this is on me. I caused all this. I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew what I was doing. This is on me. That young lady lost her life. And the real story is not being told. So that someone else can be, saved from walking down that same path. So that someone else can take notice and be like, man, I don't want to go down that road. All we hearing is, the victim playing the whole situation as they're all victims. Again, I'm not here to debate whether she deserved to die or whether, the police were right in doing what they did. I want to put the light on the fact that we have an issue inside the community where everyone is the victim and no one is held accountable. Everyone wants to do any and everything, but don't want to be held accountable for what they're doing. In one of the transcripts, there was a mother that came to the jailhouse because one of the trap houses were also hit the same night, and they took people in or whatever. And she was talking to her son who was selling drugs, and it was going back and forth because she was in on it. And she got in contact with someone else who was also working with them, and she questioned him, saying, she asked him a question saying, why are you not on the block? Just because whatever happened to Breonna, that don't stop what we doing. Like, that's the mindset we are dealing with. Let me say that again. She asked him, why is he not on the block? What happened to Breonna doesn't stop what we're doing over here. Is that not sad? That woman died because of some drugs, because of them running drugs. That woman died. That mother was not concerned. She was not worried. She did not care. That was their business, running drugs. She wanted that young man or whoever he was on the other line. She wanted him back on the block, moving whatever they're supposed to be moving. That's the mindset we are dealing with. That's the other sad story that we're dealing with. While we're so focused on all this other nonsense that's going on in the world, and we're pointing at other people and pointing at other races and pointing at all this other stuff, no one's looking within their own community and saying, you know what, we need to do some self-checking here. We need to clean up around our streets, our blocks. We need to do some cleaning around there before we start pointing the fingers at what everyone else is doing. It's annoying to see these things happen on TV, and then you see the result of it. You see the response. The response is to riot in the streets because they feel like the police were wrong. Burn the town down because they feel like they was wrong. But no one's upset with the drugs destroying the community. No one's upset with the drugs probably killing a family member from a drug overdose. No one's upset from possibly someone breaking into someone's house for drug money or shootouts or fights. No one's upset with that. No one's upset with the drug dealers moving into a vacant house and making it their own little drug house operations. No one is upset about none of that. This woman lost her life because she was with a coward who ducked off. This woman lost her life because she made some bad decisions connecting with the wrong people. Yes, she was an EMT or was the EMT and had a good, bright future. But somewhere she got mixed up with the wrong people. Somewhere she got mixed up with the wrong people. And now they're still living and breathing. That so-called boyfriend is still living and breathing. She's in the ground. Like that mom said. What we doing don't stop. It's sad. As I think about that, like I have a sister. I have a sister. And I she crossed my mind sometimes, and I hope that she doesn't get mixed up with, people like that or get caught up in a crossfire like that. It's crazy. My daughter, like I told you guys, my daughter, she has her head on her shoulders pretty good. She has her head on her shoulders pretty good. She's more like me, and it's amazing the things that she says, and I'm just like blown away because she doesn't have time. She says, I don't have time for the nonsense, and this is a lot of nonsense we are dealing with. Like I said, if you want to read the transcripts, again, I can't verify the information is real, but I have a feeling that once all the information comes out, this is going to have a lot of people feeling sour, or they're going to ignore it and they'll continue about their day. This is a real issue in the communities. We'd rather blow up or burn, tear down the city over, police work. Maybe it wasn't done right. Maybe it was done right. but their job was to go in and stop the drugs. In that process, something tragic happened. We're always responding to the outcome and never looking at what led up to this. It's sad. Let me see the comments. Chief Robinson, how you doing? She says, you can't because now you're against your own people. I definitely hear you on that. I get that comment all the time. That's why I stopped talking on Facebook, because I view myself wanting to help people. I view myself wanting to, help someone not follow in those same footsteps. Not saying I was in that lifestyle or anything like that, but the path that I walk down, I try to help people not to walk down that same path. And quickly, it turns from me caring about people to, oh, you gonna sell us down the river? Like, I don't understand how you come up with that. How do you not want to be corrected when you're wrong? I'm trying to save your life. I'm trying to save you the grief. I'm trying to save you the long nights of anger and frustration. I'm trying to help you. I'm not trying to harm you. I'm not trying to destroy you. The people that's not correcting you, the people that's not trying to guide you, those are the people that are selling you out. People who are encouraging that behavior to continue, those are the people that are selling you up the river. Those are the people that don't like you. They don't care about you. Because to me, if you care, you're gonna tell me, hey, I'm seeing where you're going, and I'm telling that's kind of dark down there. It's kind of dark down there. You might want to reroute yourself. And thank you for that information. Thank you. I'm not gonna say, oh, you trying to be a sellout now. You trying to sell me up the river. Okay. Where? How do we arrive to that point? How do we arrive to that point? Like I say, we have famous people and celebrities influencing people's emotions and reactions and all of this nonsense. When I heard the NBA players were going to strike and not play when they heard the verdict for Breonna Taylor, I was like, okay, I can get behind that. But then when I saw it was for one day, I was like, oh, okay, I see what it is. It was just a talking point. They didn't care about Breonna Taylor. Because if they did, they would have set out the whole playoffs until they figured out what was going on. You didn't really care. It was a talking point. People are using this case and what happened in this case to, boast their views or whatever. When I first found out some of this information, I wanted to come on 2-3 weeks ago and just go in. I wanted to go in. And I think I sent Tori a message, and I forgot what I asked her, but I sent her a message, and then I talked to some other people, Jay, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna look at it from another perspective, because I was furious. I was mad. I was mad at what I was seeing. I don't watch TV, but I see this on Twitter. I see it on Facebook. Everyone's saying her name. Yes, say her name, Breonna Taylor. Say her name, Breonna Taylor. Not because the police killed her, because the community failed her. Because Breonna Taylor made some bad decisions, getting caught up with the wrong group of people. Say her name so that other young girls inside the community are not walking down that same path. Say her name so that other young boys that are seeing that hear this story or not selling drugs to their own community, not selling drugs, period, not destroying their own communities, and then crying about it when the cops come in and take them to jail. Say her name. Breonna Taylor. Her so-called man didn't stand by her side. He shot, he ran off, didn't get not one bullet as she died on that floor in the hallway. Breonna Taylor. I know I don't want that for my daughter. I don't want that for my nieces. I don't want that for people that I know. I don't want that for anyone. That shouldn't be anyone's story. That shouldn't be anyone's story. It shouldn't be used to boast views or to be a talking point to have a fake solidarity moment. It should be about something. This should be something serious. This should be a round table discussion. If saying her name is so important, it's time to. There should be a table inside the community where they come together and start talking. This has to stop. We're destroying ourselves from within. There is still a killer out in South Bend, Indiana, that took a 7-year-old little girl's life at a birthday party. 7 years old. No one is saying anything. No one is saying anything. That little girl is gone. 7. 7. So when you see people on Facebook and you see people on Twitter or whatever social media platform you're using, and you see people saying her name and they have a meme attached to it, you should ask them, why are you saying her name? What does that mean to you? Is it just a shiny new meme that you want to share? What does that mean to you? Like I said, I told you guys last week, I'm over, or the week before, I'm over the fake solidarity. I'm over the fakeness. I'm over the doing just because everyone else is doing. Whatever I'm doing, I want it to have meaning. I want it to have impact. I want it to have an impact, create an impact. No little kid should be walking by a crack house where they selling drugs and moving guns and they storing money. No more Breonna Taylor should be fighting with another baby mama who is trying to find money, and another say her name. The other sad story. It's a sad story. Before I came on, I was all nervous. I felt the butterflies and I felt it all. It's a sad story. When I first wanted, like I told you guys, when I first wanted to talk about it, I wanted to release a flame. I wanted to burn. I wanted this mic to burn. But what was that going to do? What was that going to do? So I had to think about it. And this is the path. I want better. Someone has to want better. Her name is just not a meme. That woman had life. She made some bad decisions. It cost her. If we don't tell the actual story what happened and save other little girls, other Breonna Taylors, whatever you want to call it, save the other little kids, save other, the upcoming teenagers, the new generation. If we want to save them, we have to tell this story. Not put a spin on it. Tell the story for what the story is. We can leave out the cops and everything else. Tell the story so we can preserve life. So we can preserve life. I know you guys are tired of seeing young people die. I know I am. So let me check and see what these comments are saying. I had to check out the zone. I do. Oh, there it is. I was on the phone with my dad. My dad said it's the scripture, Romans 13. I should pull it. Let me see if I can pull it up. Bear with me real quick. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see. Or maybe I just have you guys go read it. My computer's acting funny. I can't. There it is. What is it doing? Trying to do all this live. This is tough. I'm gonna probably put it in the. I'm definitely gonna put it in the show notes. But you guys go and read that. Go and read that. It's about the law of the land. I remember growing up, my mom and dad always told us, "You're gonna listen to somebody. You gonna listen to somebody. You might not listen to us, but you're gonna listen to somebody. There's gonna be a consequence for every action that we put out there." And this was a sad consequence for these actions. Again, if ignore the judicial part of it, ignore the police, ignore that. Let's highlight the poison in the community. Highlight that. Chief Robinson says human life has lost value. It definitely has. In Matthew, it tells us about that. Miss Tiffany Banks says it was a publicity stunt. I hope that was not the case, because that's yeah. I think are you referring to the NBA, the NBA the NBA playoffs? Tiffany also says for every action there is an equal or an opposite reaction. Consequences are no jokes at all. Absolutely. The scripture is Romans 13, Tiffany. Chief Robinson says, I saved Breonna Taylor for my $2. Tori says, okay. Tori says she remembered the text. Something about how to deal with your neighbor or how to deal with the forgiveness part. Yeah. Because I was angry when I saw all of this going on, when I saw what was going on in the media, and I just want to be as honest and as clear as I can be about news and who you're getting your information from. I beg you to look up things for yourself. I beg you not to be listening with an emotional ear. If you're going to watch the news, watch it. Leave all the descriptions and all of that Get all that out the way and listen for the information. And then process the information. And then process the information. Process the information again. And if it doesn't make sense, there's something missing. If you're questioning why are they telling us this, there's something going on. There's so much shakiness. And I'm not saying the news is fake or anything, but they like to play with the emotional streams because they know they can get a reaction. That's why they use all the description words. Back in a long time ago, I told you they didn't use descriptions like that. They're doing it now to play with your emotional string. We're so emotional now. Anything can set us off. And it can be a lie. That is dangerous. Listen. Evaluate. And then after you evaluate, do not react. There's no reason to react. Tiffany Banks says she processes one more time. That's what you gotta do. That's what you got to do. That's what you gotta do. So I'm looking at the timer. We had 36 minutes. That was I wanted to come in, do my spiel, bow, and drop it, and just just have it in your mind. I just wanted that to be in your mind. So when you're scrolling and you're seeing that, maybe question them and ask them, what's their motives behind this post about Breonna Taylor when they say her name? Are you wanting to say her name to, spark up a change? Or are you just saying her name because that's the hashtag? Because there's too many hashtags. There's too many hashtags. Say his name. I can't breathe. All of this. There's too many hashtags. We need some actual changes. And the changes start from within and then outward. We can't go expecting down the block, around the corner, 2 miles to the left to be knocking at their door. Hey, you need to change it. No. The change starts with you. The community first. Then goes abroad. I'm telling you this because I know this for a fact. I had to change a lot of my views, a lot of my ways, the way I handle it, and the way I communicated with other people. I couldn't. That's a whole nother episode. I'm not about to open up another episode right here, right now. I'm not about to do that. Tori says it's a great thing to be able to control our thoughts. She hits me with a scripture, 2 Corinthians 10:5. Hold every thought captive. It is a price. Hold every thought. You don't have to speak on everything. You don't have to react on everything. It's a game, people. The media is playing us. Like I said, there's a sad story that's not being told. And it's a sad story that's not being told. And if the young people don't know, they're going to follow down that same path. And they might even know, but if no one's bringing it to their face, having this discussion in their face, they're going to continue down that same path. We'll have another one, and we'll be saying her name. But no one would know the story. Tell the story. So, let's get into our sponsored segment. Let's get into the sponsored segment. Oh, why did it not go through? Well, there it is. It didn't change it, but sponsored segment is sponsored by the Limitless Possibilities Podcast by Zach out there in Germany. He's sponsoring this real life defining moments. Actually, I don't know. What did he say? I think he said I could. I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell the people what you gave me. And before we get into that, I want to say thank you. I received, let me see, I got five. I got five stories. I got five real life defining moments. So thank you for those. Please, if you have more, send them in. Um, know that I'm going down in order how I got them. So um, just you have to keep tuning in to see if if I go through yours. So if you don't want me to say your name, you can leave it in the email and say, don't say my name. Or if you don't mind, I'll say your name. I might not use names because I know some people don't want their name said or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I'll just do that. So don't worry about leaving that in there. If you want to, you can put it in there, but if not, that's fine too. So thank you again for sending me your real life defining moments. Thank you. Thank you. And if you want to sponsor the real life defining moments, sponsor this segment, please contact me at the See Through It Podcast, SeeThroughIt at gmail.com. So, real life defining moment for this young man. At a young age, Mr. Zach, he did say I could use his name. So Mr. Zach was, that's the sponsor of this segment, was diagnosed with a heart condition. And Zach was in sports a lot. He was in sports. He played sports his whole entire young life, and he's still playing now. Well, I guess I should have left that out. But he had a heart condition, and the doctor said he's not gonna be able to play. He won't be able to play. He might end up dying, make things worse. Yeah, what's worse than that? Dying, right? So Zach continued. Zach continued to train, continued to push through. And as we're talking right now today, 2020, Zach is in Germany playing for a professional team. You know, he had to go through tons of, you know, probably medication and all of that. He pushed through. That was a real life defining moment. The moment, he said, the moment came when the doctor said you can't play. He realized whether either I'm gonna follow what this doctor is saying, or I'm gonna prove this doctor wrong. Everyone's saying he can't do this, he can't do that. He proved them all wrong. And I can't even think of the scripture, but it brings to mind that the doctors don't have the final say so. All you guys that are, religious, you believe in God, he has the final say so. He is the author of your life. And, most people would have just stopped playing. Most people would have been like, all right, well, the doctor said I can't do it. I can't do it. Zach kept chugging along. And now he's playing baseball professionally over there in Germany. He hurt his knee. He's rehabbing his knee, so he's going through some more extensive training to be able to get back on the field. So he's a warrior. He's a warrior. He's proving the doctors wrong. He's proving people wrong. And that is a real life defining, because he could have just folded. He could have just folded and just been doing something else and been miserable. But he's out there swinging the bat, playing baseball. So that is the real life defining moment, sponsored by Limitless Possibilities Podcast by Zach Johnson out there in Germany. So thank you again, Mr. Zach, for sponsoring this segment. Thank you. Again, if you want to sponsor this segment, please let me know. Contact me at SeeThroughIt at gmail.com. Let's go ahead and get into our contact information. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up. If you hit that thumbs down, you better leave a reason why you hit that thumbs down. You better hit the comments and tell me why you hit the thumbs down. Follow me on Twitter at SeeThroughIt1. If you're on Facebook, facebook.com/STIP. That's all capitalized. Lowercase ODCAST. Give that page a thumbs up, a follow. I post there kind of often, It's also linked to my Instagram page at Brian Sales. So if you have IG, follow me at Brian Sales. Also follow my new Warriors Collection brand at Warriors_Collection. That's all spelled correctly. No weird Z's or anything like that. Warriors_Collection_. Warriors Collection Brand LLC is a thing. We are moving. We are chugging along. We getting papers filed and all of that great stuff. So we hopefully we'll have this website up and running here soon. So that'll be on this page. Like I said, contact me at SeeThroughIt Podcast, SeeThroughIt Podcast at gmail.com if you would like to sponsor the real life defining moments. If you'd like to donate to the show, paypal.me/SeeThroughIt. I'm on audio, Anchor FM, Spotify. I see you, James. I see you. Thank you. Spotify, Radio Public, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, and Breaker. Check me out on those platforms. And if you have Apple, if you're listening to me on Apple, please go by to the app, go by there and leave me a review. Give me, some stars. I would like to get the 5. You hit that 5 and give me a nice review. But if you don't want to give me a nice review, that's okay. Tell me why. Be honest, be transparent as be, Thank you to all my supporters, the people who don't, the people that just come and watch. Equally appreciative, grateful. Thank you. Thank you to Mr. White and Ms. Kasi for your contributions to the show. I greatly appreciate that. I greatly appreciate all you guys for coming and watching and listening and dealing with me and whatever else. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it greatly. So that is the show, folks. Again, before we get out of here, like I said, pre-orders are going to October 16th. That's Friday. If you have not pre-ordered your Oath Edition shirt, the contract expired, but the oath didn't, you need to contact me and get one. It's $25. You don't have to worry about shipping. I take care of shipping. Tax, because I'm a business now, I got to pay taxes. So, but if you would like to purchase a shirt, pre-order a shirt, please let me know before the 16th so I can get all this stuff processed and ordered, so I can get it in, start working on them, and get them sent out. They will all be sent out no later than November 2nd, so it'll be in time for November 11th. So support the cause, the Warrior Collection brand. We will like I said, we will have the website up and running here. I'm hoping to have that up before a month. I'm shooting for maybe 2 weeks, but realistically it'll probably be a month. But I'm pushing for 2 weeks. I'm pushing for 2 weeks. So again, let me see what's going in there. James is Donald Robbins, Mr. Donald. How you doing, man? Oh, he changed his name up on me. I see you. No, you see the Texas Longhorns back there. They shouldn't even be up there the way they've been playing. But that's a whole nother, maybe next year conversation. But anyway, folks, thank you for tuning in. Remember, if you're going to say her name, tell her story. All right? Breonna Taylor. Tell her story. Save someone's life. All right? Remember, don't be blinded by the media. Don't be blinded by the media. Hashtag See Through It. This is the See Through It Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Sales. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.